What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean. Today, reactions to the classics. Time for another battle.
Love our battles, man.
And as you can see at the bottom, gonna break off an iconic track, "Heartbreak Hotel," the original by the King, Elvis Presley.
That's right, versus the cover by Tones on Tail. It's brought to us by our patron, longtime supporter and friend of the channel, CSN. CSN always brings us great stuff, and he dubs this an America versus England World Cup Battle of the Bands, Trey. So it's going to be a good one.
We've had a few kind of World Cup type of battles in here in the past couple months that have been fun to kind of dive into and just run with here. So I'm looking forward to this. I know the original by Elvis. I don't know the Tones on Tail.
Me neither.
We have some triple shots and some song reactions of Tones on Tail up on the channel if you want to search that afterwards. Kind of spawned by Daniel Ash of a Bauhaus fan.
Yes, because we got a lot of Bauhaus stuff up too.
So I'm curious to see what they do with such an iconic track as this. But we'll start with Elvis's version, and has quite the acclaim.
Quite the pedigree. Released the single in January of 1956, so we're going way back, Trey. Elvis is first on his new record label, RCA Victor. It's written by Tommy Durden and Mae Boren Axton, with credit given also to Elvis. We won't get into what all that means, but the single topped Billboard's Top 100 chart for 7 weeks, was number one on the country and western chart. It was known then, now it's just a country chart, for 17 weeks, and reached number 3 on the R&B chart. It was Elvis's first million seller, one of the best-selling singles of 1956, and number 2 in the UK, his first hit there, which little known fact that Elvis was the number one artist in the UK in the 60s.
Yeah.
Whereas the Beatles were the number one artist in the US. It was sort of reversal there. And it got its acclaim later on as well.
Yeah, exactly. 95, inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Named one of the 500 greatest songs of all time by Rolling Stone as well.
And I got a little story for this, just that I found interesting. He was working with a new producer because it's RCA Victor. And the mics were, of course, meant for you to stand there and sing, and Elvis would jump around when he's singing. He's getting into the song, and the mics couldn't pick it up, so they had to stop and re-mic the entire studio so that he could move wherever he wanted, and it sounded good. So I thought that's one of those great stories.
Ooh, cool, man. Well, let's dive into it.
Since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of the lonely street, that Heartbreak Hotel where I'll be just so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I'll be just so lonely I could die.
Right, bass and Elvis is no joke.
Crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom. I'll be just so lonely, baby. I'll be just so lonely. I'll be just so lonely they could die. Now the bellhop's tears keep flowing, the desk clerk's dressed in black. Well, they've been so long on the street, they'll never look back and think you're so lonely, baby. Well, they're so lonely. Well, they're so lonely they could die. Well, if your baby leaves you got a tale to tell. Well, just take a walk down on the street to Heartbreak Hotel, where you will be so lonely, baby. Well, you'll be lonely. You'll be so lonely you could die.
That classic 50s rock and roll guitar.
There's some iconic people playing on this too.
Crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry. They're so lonely, baby. Well, they're so lonely. They'll be so lonely they could die.
All right, Elvis bringing Heartbreak Hotel, man, and sheesh, what is this, 56? So that's
January
like,
56, so real early, man. You can tell it in the production value. It's not bad, but it's very distant.
Yeah, has that that kind of retro feel to it in here, man. And interesting as well, standing out because for the first couple verses, it's really Elvis's sounds like dynamite on here. Sounds great.
Yeah.
But with that upright bass, which
kind of carries the song throughout. And then you've got the great Chet Atkins on guitar with him. You got the great Floyd Kramer on piano. Bill Black's playing that bass.
And Scotty Moore on the electric guitar, man. So
yeah, might as well shout out DJ Fontana on the drums. There's a lot to the story, even though there's not a lot of lyrics. It's a 2-minute song because that's the way we did it back in 1956. But if you want to do a deep dive, just type into your little Google Heartbreak Hotel songwriting, and you'll go down this path of this song. Has so much stuff to it between the two people who wrote it and what it was about, and it was about this or it wasn't about this, and all this controversy, which I'm not going to bore you with in here. But the performance itself, you said it, Elvis sounds great. I mean, it's very early Elvis, just sounds fantastic. And
just kind of putting that Heartbreak Hotel just at the center of it, and just kind of the imagery surrounding it, where the bellhop's tears keep flowing, the desk clerk's dressed in black, just that cadence, the melody to it, it all works to be a classic Elvis tune, man.
Yeah, and well, now if you're Baby Legion, you got a tale to tell. Just take a walk down Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel. That's the final verse. So well done, and you get an idea, and you can just hear the emotion and the power in Elvis's voice. I mean, he carries it. Just a really well put together song with the musicianship and everything else, especially when he considers January of '56.
No, and that's a good point too, because that electric guitar didn't really come full force until there was about 45 seconds left in the track, and had that of course classic rock and roll type of sound to it. So obviously an absolute classic here. And now we're going to go to the Tones on Tail version here. That's about a minute longer.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I guess there's your answer. The intro.
Get that fade in, man.
Sounds like an alarm's going on.
I'm liking it because you cover this, you got to make it different,
My baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. Down at the end of Lonely Street, Heartbreak Hotel. Oh, feeling so lonely, baby. Feeling so lonely, baby. Feeling so lonely, baby, I could die. Bellhop's tears keep flowing. The desk clerk's dressed in black. They've been so long on lonely streets, they never will get back. 'Cause they're feeling so lonely, baby. Feeling so lonely, baby. Feeling so lonely, baby, they could die.
Kind of taking a bit more dreary interpretation, on the lyricism here, just with the sound, which fits. Cool, man.
So if your baby leaves you and you have a tale to tell, just take a walk down lonely streets, straight to Heartbreak Hotel, where you could be so lonely, and I could be so lonely. We could all be so lonely we could die.
Tones on Tail bringing a darker version of Heartbreak Hotel, a bit more dreary and almost doom-like laden in here. But I really enjoyed how they, the interpretation and direction on this.
Yeah, I think they took the lyrics and really, built on that. Just with the atmosphere, because the lyrics are very dark.
Yeah, they
absolutely
are,
fits with their interpretation of that. Nice little intro in there, build up to it, and then he had a slower delivery than Elvis, not totally slow, not where you want, man, this dude needs to speed up. It was just right with the instrumentation, playing that kind of doom and gloom in the background.
And being a Daniel Ash project, who was a part of Bauhaus, which were pioneers kind of Gothic rock.
Right.
That you kind of get that connection, I guess, so to speak, in there, man. And I thought that it was just so interesting. Kind of had that distortion and fuzziness underneath the guitar work as well, and a bit more louder and just. Whenever you do a cover of a song that's this iconic, you got to do something totally different.
Yeah, and it's been covered by tons of well-known artists as well. So I love the way they reinterpreted that. Like, huge points for that, which I guess, Dre, is going to bring us to our overall winner. It's always tough to beat iconic originals, but I always respect the effort of those who bring something, like, as I just said, different. So they really reinterpreted this song. I think they did a fantastic job. Kudos to them for that. But I got to go with the Elvis original.
Got to go with the OG. Yeah. Well, I'm about to get some heat, baby. I'm about to get some heat, man. Obviously the Elvis version is the more legendary track. I do enjoy it, but just for my personal taste, I like what Tones on Tail did
a great job,
man. And obviously, it was recorded 30 years later afterwards, almost. So of course they were going to be able to kind of expand the instrumentation, so to speak,
in the production.
But so I'm actually gonna be a little wild card and go the Tones on Tail version.
Trey, I'll try to shield you already. They're about to come after you in the comments,
man. But obviously both great renditions, man, and always fun to do some Elvis on the channel. And it's always fun to do these battles with the originals and the covers. Let us know your winner, y'all, down in the comments section below. Give some props to CSN for bringing this as well. So as always, Dad, appreciate it.
Yep.
And until next time, y'all, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we will see ya.